Women at St. James Church Asokoro and St. Matthew's Church Maitama celebrates Modern Sunday in grand style. Gudu Archdeaconry women celebrate the elderly women in their midst. Meanwhile, women at the All Saints Church Season 5 and Church of the Holy Cross were not left out in the celebration of Modern Sunday. You are watching the news on the Albert TV from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria ACNN Television. I am Zubechi Frank. You are welcome. The Bishop of Yoda, Sister Right Reverend Michael Oluwarumbi, has called on women not to relent in the effort of nurturing children in the way of the Lord, as this is one of the roles God has given to women towards having a better society. He made the call in an interview with ACNN news correspondent Carolina Tumbe, congratulating all mothers as they marked their day.
But I want to say that without mothers, we cannot be. And when we look at them and looking at that topic in particular, you discover that the aspect of nursing, actually started right from the womb. Because if they had terminated the pregnancy, one would not be. So we want to appreciate them and thank them for bringing us to this world, and to encourage them that task of being to nurse a child is a very, very important assignment. It's something that is dear to the heart of the Lord. I want to encourage them that they must not relent.
Women have been admonished to always dwell in the presence of God in prayers and the study of His Word to be able to exhibit the beauty of Christ in them. Now, this was the admonition of the wife of the Bishop of the Diocese of Ikwerre, Mrs. Precious Enyindaya, during the celebration of the 2020 Modern Sunday celebration. Speaking on the theme of the Mother's Day celebration in the diocese, Daughter of Zion, Perfecting Beauty, at St. Peter's Cathedral, Isugbo, she urged Christian women to show forth what God has made them to be by living godly life both in their private and public lives. Mrs. Enyindaya further admonished women to be role models to the younger ones so that they can imitate their way of life, adding that they should not forget to care for their families and be a helper to their husbands. The Modern Sunday celebration took a different twist in the Basilica of Grace Gudu District Anglican Church, that is the headquarters of Gudu Archdeaconry, as they celebrated their elderly women and others who have been exceptional with their contributions towards church enhancement. These women received awards of honor. Charles Philip Uwakolam tells us more.
The recognition of elderly mothers in their midst as special mothers, and also the appreciation given to others for their selfless service and dedication to the church, was the high point of this year's Mothering Sunday. The awards of honor added color to the event as women turned out in stunning colors. The mothers also extended their beauty to interiors of the church. In their separate messages, the vicar and his wife told women to be more uptight in raising godly children.
I'm appealing to the mothers to be more conscious of training their children in godliness. That is my advice to them. And they should stop this competition with men and so on and so forth.
God is asking for accountability of how we take care of our children and be able to stand up for our responsibility. Taking care of these children and making them great leaders, both in the church and in the society, is the responsibility of the woman.
Other highlights was the Thanksgiving as well as donations in favor of the church mothers, as other women expressed their appreciation to God and to fellow mothers for being mothers.
Motherhood has been an awesome experience. I've always celebrated my mom, but I've always looked forward to celebrating myself and my children celebrating me. Of course, you can see my baby, though he's still very little. I know he's celebrating me already, and I look forward to the time he will be grown too to also celebrate me, and I'll also hear his voice. Oh, happy Mother's Day, dear mother.
I want to use this opportunity to thank our vicar's wife, Mommy Otoke. Just barely 3 months of her coming to Basilica of Grace. You can see the tremendous change we have. You can see the excitement on air. You can see the sense of belonging, the commitment.
Charles Philip Wakolam, ACNNTV News.
When you train up your child in the right way, he will not depart from it. It is on this biblical injunction that mothers have been called against relinquishing their duty in the home to nannies. Speaking on the theme of the 2020 Modern Sunday in the Diocese of Abuja, Motherhood and Nursing in Times Like This, the wife of the Vicar of St. James Anglican Church at Sokoro, Mrs. Evelyn Wafili, called on parents to raise their children in the way of the Lord.
The issue of nursing or parenting children is not just left for the mothers alone. Our husbands, they also have roles to play. So that our children or individuals is growing in knowing the right and wrong and learn proper way of living from their parents. Children learn by imitation. They see what we do at home. They observe us. And sometimes they mimic us. So we should be very, very careful the way we live our lives. As mothers in the home, let the beauty of Jesus be seen in and out of us. Let them see Christ in us. So that when they grow up, they glorify God. And the Lord will help us in Jesus' name.
The celebration was graced with different activities such as presentation by the children, eulogizing the mothers, and presentation of song by the women. Beginning an interview, some of the women expressed their joy as they are being celebrated, while the men appreciated them.
Motherhood, it's a blessing to be a mother, so we're happy that, today has finally come, celebrating motherhood in a very special way. You can see that our theme for this year's celebration is motherhood and nurturing. A mother nurtures till she dies. So, it's the grace of God, and we're happy, you understand, to be here. We can't thank God enough.
Today is our Mother's Day, and mothers are very beautiful creatures, especially made by God and for God. So we are celebrating our mothers today because they are special. We are celebrating the love they have for the family, for the fathers, the children. They toil day and night for the family to make us a success. So that's what we are celebrating today. We love our mothers.
And so my call to our younger mothers out there is that we should do the needful. We should know that these children are gifts from God, and so we are accountable. If we don't take care of them, God is going to hold us responsible. So I pray and I wish every mother the grace to be able to take care of their children. I know that the grace is sufficient unto us. Training of our children in this generation that we are in times like this absolutely is not an easy task, but the grace is available. And I pray that God will give us grace to do the needful, to do the right thing in the life of these children, so that they will, grow up to be like Deborah, like Esther, like Joseph in the Bible in our time today.
Meanwhile, the quintessential women of St. Matthew's Anglican Church Maitama were not left out in the celebration of the Modern Sunday, as the children and fathers in the church all trooped out to appreciate the women for all their sacrifices and love. High point of the service was presentation of gifts to the women by the children, presentation of awards to women and men who have contributed immensely to the growth of the church, cutting of the Modern Sunday cake, presentation of wrappers to the women by the fathers, among others.
Our mother here is being awarded Woman of Valor, and that you shall continue to be in the name of Jesus Christ. Mother of the March 2020. You are here and you are the one taking our award. You are a great woman.
Some of the women also sent messages of love to their fellow women and mothers. The men were not left out in eulogizing them, as the wife of the vicar, Mrs. Rosalind Akaya, threw more light on the theme motherhood and nursing in times like this.
I want to wish all the mothers, especially those of the Anglican Communion, a very happy Modern Sunday. We want to thank God for another opportunity that He has given to us this year to celebrate. Looking at the thing, motherhood and nursing, we should love and care for our children. We should not hand our children over to other people like what is happening this day because of time, because of running for this, that, to make ends meet. I want to pray that every mother will be like that of Jochebed and that the mother of Timothy also. You know, this woman embedded some value, some good quality in this child, Timothy, that even in his lifetime, Paul saw Timothy worthy to be used, you know, even in the work of God. Let us also be that kind of mother that is worthy of emulation.
Well, I'm happy. First, I want to thank God for the preservation of life, for another beautiful Modern Sunday, and for keeping us alive to see another beautiful one this year. I want to wish my sister, my lovely mommy, happy Mother's Day, and I continue to pray that God will keep them for them to see many more years.
Wow. Today is a wonderful day. You know, it's not easy to be a mother. Understand? So we thank God for the privilege for us to witness another Modern Sunday of 2020. Indeed, it's not by our own making, it's not by our own power, it is by His grace, and we are not taking it for granted. So I feel very, very happy and honored and privileged to be among those that are celebrating today again.
My shout out goes to all the women of St. Matthew's Anglican Church Maitama for organizing this wonderful Modern Sunday today. We appreciate all the women, we appreciate our husband that made it possible for us to be here today, and the vicar's wife, all the clergymen and their wives. We say thank you all.
Love you all.
I want to appreciate God for today that has given us this day to celebrate our women, our mothers and our wives and our daughters. And I want to give a shout out to all the amiable, quintessential women of St. Matthew's, most especially my dear amiable wife, Deborah Irakweme. I wish us happy Mother's Day and many Mother's Days in future to celebrate in good health. I also want to wish our vicar's wife and all the wife of the priest in this parish and every woman that worship here. And my sisters are there. Happy Mother's Day and many more to come.
Women at the All Saints Anglican Church, who says on 5 Abuja, and Church of the Holy Cross were not also left out in the celebration of Modern Sunday, as they were all called to be of good courage to their children. Here is the report.
It was all glorious, glamorous and beautiful as women at the All Saints Wuses on 5 Abuja were seen in their beautiful attires to be celebrated as mothers. The service had in attendance the wife of the primate-elect, Mrs. Angela Ndukoba, together with other dignitaries, and featured the presentation by the choirs and the school children, women, among others. As women were charged to re-examine their way of nurturing their children to know if it is exactly what God wants.
To address us mothers, to have godly wisdom, to awaken to our responsibilities, and then go back to God in prayers and seek for solutions or tools to be ahead of these children in order to deliver them from the evil influences of the social media and peer pressure.
I advise every woman to be prayerful, to hold on to God, because it's a very great task. So I'm asking every woman to hold on to God, and then they must have something doing. You can't be a mother without having something doing, no matter how small.
At the Church of the Holy Cross, mothers were seen rejoicing and dancing to a melodious tune as songs and drama was presented by the women, the choir, to mark the Modern Sunday. The wife of the vicar had this to say to the women.
Happy Mother's Day to everyone. It's indeed a very beautiful day celebrating motherhood, and today we've learned about nurturing. We also learned that it's not just about you bringing a child to the world. A mother is a very caring person who is able to nurture the child to an extent in which the child can stand. It's not all about bringing a child to the world. You have to have that mother instinct and to take care of your child to the extent that God Almighty will be happy with you.
For the records, the Modern Sunday usually in the Anglican Communion is celebrated on the fourth Sunday in Lent. However, the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion brought it down this year to third Sunday in Lent, and this was made possible by pastoral directions from the retiring primate of all Nigeria, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, because this year it coincided with the Church of Nigeria Standing Committee to be hosted by Abuja Diocese from the 21st to 25th March 2020.
You're still watching the news on the air brought to you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria ACNN Television. And still to come, Lagos State Governor visits scene of explosion at Abuja. These and many more after the break. Please stay tuned.
At the King's Court is a program where we worship and praise the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords through various musical renditions. So join me, Eukaria Ozovehe, at the King's Court every Tuesday by 6 p.m. on this station, and it promises to be exciting and rewarding.
You are welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the VM Africa app for Android from Google Play Store. It was ceremonious as women of the Diocese of Abuja Anglican Communion came out in their numbers to celebrate this year's Mothering Sunday. In a charge delivered at the Thanksgiving service marking the end of the week-long program, wife of the Bishop of Abuja Diocese admonished Christian mothers to be positive in everything they do in spite of life's challenges, and for them to live an exemplary lifestyle for their children to emulate. She further enjoyed women to emulate the positive roles played by Hannah and Esther in spite of the challenges they went through, and described a positive mother as a woman of good character who builds her home rather than destroy it. High point of the Mothering Sunday was a exchange of gifts, a word of honor to some virtuous mothers of the diocese, and melodious songs by the women. As women celebrate the 2020 Mothering Sunday, mothers from the Cathedral Church of the Advent Life Camp and St. Philip's Anglican Church were in Part M6 Abuja took to the stage to mark this day with various activities to appreciate motherhood. ACNN News correspondent Carolina Tumbe has the details.
At the Cathedral Church of the Advent Life Camp Gwarimpa Abuja, mothers in their beautiful attire dance and sing praises in appreciation to God for being a woman. While there were presentations by the teens, youth and children to appreciate the role of mothers in life, the mothers also rendered a melodious songs to mark the day. In her sermon, wife of the vicar, Mrs. Joy Ndume, speaking on the theme motherhood and nursing in times like this, said, "Motherhood and nursing is a calling by God to mothers, bringing great joy to the whole world." Highlighting some of the characteristics of motherhood, Mrs. Ndume said, "Women should trust God at all times, for God has given them grace and insight to nurture their family."
It is the Lord that gives us the grace, the ability to nurture our children in times like this. Because actually, there's a lot of evils happening in our time that needs the grace of God, that needs the power of the Holy Spirit.
Similarly, at St. Philip's Anglican Church, Gwarimpa, Abuja, mothers in the large turnout also appreciated God, involving themselves in various activities to mark the day, as they were charged to represent God by caring and nurturing their children in the way of the Lord, spending quality time with them.
You cannot do this assignment if you are a mother by proxy. You have to be around with the children. You have to come down from your high horse to become their friend. It's when you are their friend you can break into their world.
Wife of the vicar, Mrs. Ogenekaru Ezumerue, and others expressed their joy being a mother.
A mother is something that you don't buy. It's a gift from God.
That we are gifted as women. We're born manager.
I feel so happy and excited. I can't thank God enough.
I am Caroline Achumbe, ACNN News.
While still on Modern Sunday celebration, this year's occasion of Modern Sunday, women have been called upon to stand up to their responsibilities as homemakers and nation builders. This call was made by Mrs. Ugochi Oluwaniyi, the wife of the vicar in St. Paul's Anglican Church in Abuja. In her sermon during the Modern Sunday, as she joined with others, asked women to draw their children close in order to protect them from dangers of this age.
In a country where you see an old man of 70 raping 22 years baby, 5 years baby, and 7 years child, I think it is time for us mothers to rise up to our responsibilities so that the devil will not have his way in our family.
To be more involved in the children activity, asking their questions, using biblical example to teach them that they can make impact wherever they find themselves.
We advise the young mothers right now to take the path of the old mothers, because that is the best, where they attach importance to moral values. Because the children of nowadays, they have been so engrossed in this internet or whatever. The immorality gained from the internet is spoiling the life of the children. Therefore, we are facing societal problems. If the parents give the children good foundation, the society will be at peace and there will be no problem.
Elsewhere in the Anglican Church of the Resurrection, Duboye, Abuja, the mothers, together with the guest preacher, asked women not to shy away from their responsibilities, but play their roles to ensure a secured future for their children and the society.
We're supposed to rise up to our role in the society and raise our children in the fear of God. Like Lois and Eunice in their time, they were able to impact positively in their generation. Please, we have to rise up to our responsibility so that we will not raise children that will be troubling our society, but children after the mind of God.
Without the fear of God in them, they will not be able to impact on the society. And this upbringing is very, very important from the home. Children who are wayward these days find out that upbringing from the home is lacking. So mothers have a great role to play. We must live up to our expectations.
There's a time to hide our children. Some of our children are overexposed. When God is molding a child, He doesn't mold the child in public. He hides the child until that child is formed and that child is able to exist alone, breathe alone, and be a human being. Then the child is expelled into the world.
As some Anglican churches celebrated mothers, ACNNTV's Charles Philip Column took an assessment of the women of the 21st century to see what people think about motherhood and how women are perceived in the society. According to some of them who spoke to our correspondent, women are worth celebrating and they are doing more in recent times than in the time past. Take a listen.
The 21st century woman is like every other thing in the 21st century, under siege. As we draw near to the end of the age, things are becoming more intense, things are becoming more challenging. Some women are bracing up, some are falling by the wayside. But our confidence is in God.
In those days, women, we may say that they care more because they don't have much to do. They don't go out in search of what to eat. It's just the husband, the father that does that. But the women will remain at home, care for the husband, care for the children, and all that. But today, the women, they don't only care for the home, at home front, they go out there and also see for what to do. So they are, in fact, I would say the women these days do have a lot in their hands because they do everything, including what the men do, and yet take care of the home.
They are hot. I'm praying for more grace. Eh? We are for light. Like our vicar's wife said, that we're indomitable women, gracious women, women of grace and glory.
You know that the neck of the family are the mothers. We know that we are the helpmates. We help. We act as mothers, we act as wives, we act as sisters, as aunts. We are the driving force and we are the real mothers.
You know, our work in this world is to mentor, coach both our children and our youths. For the husband, we are supposed to be submissive. So I encourage every mother to be submissive.
Not only biological mother is a mother. Anybody can be a mother. As far as we are taking care of the person, we can call you a mother. It's not only somebody that carry a baby.
It is indeed a special day for us to set aside to celebrate these special people in our life, because without a mother, I won't be standing here today. So that is why I am here to celebrate my own mother and celebrate all women across the Anglican Church.
Right away from modern Sunday celebrations, now in a service presided over by the Archbishop of the Ecclesiastical Provinces of Lagos, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Fabi, and that of Ibadan, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Shego Okubadejo, the immediate past Bishop of Ibadan Diocese, the Right Reverend Gideon Emmanuel Olajide, had his 90th birthday anniversary and Thanksgiving service at the St. James Cathedral, the Great Okebola, Ibadan. The Eucharist service, hosted by Ibadan Diocese, ably coordinated by the diocesan, the Most Reverend Akifenwa, drew several notable bishops of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, dignitaries from all walks of life, a huge crowd of friends, family members, several clergymen and their wives from within and outside Ibadan. In his sermon at the occasion, the retired Archbishop of the province of Ondo and former Dean Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, the most Reverend Professor Olashibiko, enumerated the godly and sterling virtues of Papa Olajide, describing him as a financially prudent servant of God, a minister of God who drew several souls to the Lord through his various evangelical ministries, both within and outside the Anglican Communion, amongst other virtues. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy Obafemi Hamzat visited the scene of the explosion at the Abule-Ado area in Amuwo-Odofi local government area of the state. The explosion, which occurred, rocked neighboring areas with plumes of smoke rising into the sky from the raging inferno as a result of the blast. The Director General of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Olufemi, who gave preliminary reports on the day of the explosion, said bodies have been recovered while casualties are being treated from injuries from the pipeline explosion, adding that the raging fire had displaced many residents who fled their abodes for fear of being caught up in the inferno. So that's it on this edition of the News on the Hour. I want to thank you for watching. I am Zubechi Frank.